Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Fall Podcast. Jersey Joe Archino back here, and we've talked many times about the Golden State Warriors and all of their exploits this season, but they are once again on the cusp of history as we move closer and closer to the end of the season. The magic number for them is 10 to break the 72-10 Bulls record. Really, they have a chance. They've had a chance all along, and now Steve Kerr finally admits to it with his exact words. And I quote, "I'm not going to shy away from saying we want the record. We want the record, and we're going after it." And it's one of those things where Stephen Curry really didn't shy away from it even earlier this season. He basically said, if we are in position to try to get the record, we will go for it. Well, clearly, they are now in position to get the record, and we look at their last stretch of games, and really, they're in good shape because most of them are at home. I mean, you look at their schedule, 3 of their last game of their final games are on the road. But outside of that, you've got the Mavs, you've got the Sixers, the Wizards, the Celtics, the Blazers, the T-Wolves, the Spurs, and the Grizzlies, all being home games. And really, they're in the position right now where it's achievable. And I think last night, seeing Andrew Bogut back in the starting lineup, that was once again showed you the perfect way the Warriors win. They win it through unselfishness. They win it through ball movement. They win it from just having a great floor awareness. I mean, Bogut had a couple of assists where you're just looking at him, and there's not a lot of big men in this game who can do that kind of stuff and can pass the ball like he did and put his teammates in position to get easier points like he did. He is a kind of center where he might not work on every team, but he works perfectly for a team like the Golden State Warriors because they don't need him controlling the offensive end. They need him to get his rebounds here and there, and they need him to be an integral part of the flow of the offense, and that's something that he's very capable of doing. And once again last night, we saw that as they defeated the LA Clippers 114-98, and Curry 33 points, Klay Thompson 32 points, 7 of 10 from the three-point line for Klay Thompson, and all the parts just look so harmonious like it has all season for Golden State. And now we look at them, and each game that they have left really is a chase for history. And for me, I certainly am not going to miss one of their final games because I just think we're seeing the climb to try to do something that is so difficult to do. I mean, again, that Bulls 72-10 record, when you hear it, it's just almost unfathomable to think that a team could have that great a margin of victory in a season. But Golden State right now, they're in a perfect position where they're very capable of breaking that record. And it helps certainly that they have many of their final games at home. And their last 3 games, 2 of them are on the road against the Grizzlies and against the Spurs. That Spurs one, of course, we know how that was probably Golden State's most lopsided loss all season, although it was a tie game at halftime, and Golden State was really shut down and held to the fewest points they've scored in an opening half this season. And that was a relatively close game, but I think for the most part, against a very quality opponent, that was probably the first time we've seen Golden State really struggle to impose their will on a team, but still, for San Antonio, Popovich, at that point, most likely where his Spurs will be, all he's going to care about is giving his guys rest. So I don't know if he's going to be putting out a full lineup, how convincingly he's going to try to go out there. If you think about it, most likely for a game like this, he might not be putting out that lineup. He's probably going to try to put his guys in for some rest, but certainly Golden State, their final 3 at Memphis, San Antonio, and then Memphis at the Oracle Arena. They've got a chance here, and I think we're all kind of rooting for it to happen because it's been so much fun to watch this story this season. They've been so much fun because I tweeted out about it last night. I said unselfishness is a special thing. In sports, you don't really see it all that often, but when you do, it's so refreshing. And that is the core of why this team is where they are. It's why they won the NBA title last season, and it's why most likely they're going to win it again this season, and they will break the Bulls records because they have unselfishness, and it's not easy to find, especially with a guy like Andre Iguodala. How many players like that would have been willing to come off the bench like he did last season? This is a guy being paid a lot of money. This is a guy who's done a lot of great things in this league. There's not a lot of players like him who would have just accepted that role and just come off the bench like that, but he did, and he saw why he did, because it's what helped them win a title. And when he needed to be put in that starting lineup, he was ready, and he was an integral part. That's why he won Finals MVP. But again, we kind of look at the way everything has played out for them this season. 10, again, is the magic number. Steve Kerr has said we're going for it, and they should go for it because they've been in position. They've been terrific all year. They deserve it, the record. They really should go after it. And it's nice in sports when all we really get is usually the conservative answers where we get the truth. We know they want the record. Stephen Curry has said they want the record. Now Steve Kerr, when they're closing in on their final stretch of games, says that they're going to go for it. And I think we're all rooting for it. I certainly am, and I can't wait to watch it. These last couple games, history each time they take the floor, and we will certainly see how it plays out. But until then, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. And I'll see everybody next time.